Hello and welcome. Right, I've literally just come off watching Saskatchewan, Edgewater, Saskatchewan, Mr. Silly P, and it did leave me in a bit of a dilemma. I obviously am trying my absolute utmost to do ultimate realism, and I thought, how would I handle round fields? And how do farmers handle the round fields that are on the Canadian map? Because it's literally like at round islands for the fields. Do you still go up and down and then like do weird little shapes for like the pockets, the side pockets? If anybody knows, I'm really intrigued because yeah, Mr. Silly P just went round like a worker would go round, and I can see why he would do that. I'm trying to sort of play to realism, and yeah, I don't know how to handle that one if I'm honest. Yeah, it definitely is very different. Right, now, oh, I've got time to turn in. I was having a quick look at some bags I've just loaded, some AGM ones, but still, the 1313 pack represents the absolute best value. Even than that, I was quite excited about it, and then looked at the price. Not terrible, certainly better than the standard ones, but they don't match up to the 1313 pack. So yes, right. Anyway, we have an awful lot to do. I've been racking my brains all afternoon on how to handle this. Do we make a massive time lapse and go to remind myself? I think it's August. The corn, no, it's not, it's September. Do we just go through to September? June, July, August, September? Oh no, we have got grass to cut in, it'll be May, June, July, August. I think it's September morning, which will be the last cut if I'm right, but we'll check in August. So do we go today and crack on and just sort of do a mini time lapse of all of the days and try to condense it as much as possible? Trying to think if I can. No, again, it's that, as I said, chain of evidence. It really is. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'll see if we slice this up. I'm just going to go through, and we're going to do today's normal run through that we would do, and then we're going to do tomorrow's run through, and we shall see. I shall see how big the episodes are, because I can't do a mammoth 3-hour thing for you. That will be ridiculous. Now I've called the shop. I'm going to literally have them drop off a pile of pallets like we have done to feed the pigs, yeah, over the next, well no, I'm going to do one sort of month at a time. I should do that off camera. You know, again, it's that that dilemma, and I do ask for your opinions on this, truthfully, because I know there are a lot of you who say, oh, it do, you know, it doesn't matter to me, and that's grand. It is. If it does matter to you, if you're one of those individuals that some of the things that I do really annoy, I really would like to hear from you on the things that annoy. You know, there is one thing I was looking in on Purbeck. I'm a terror for leaving gates open, which a lot of people, yeah, I mean, there is my field. On my fields, I also do where it's a right of way, and yeah, now this one really, I mean, it is my field. I know I can leave them open. This one I don't have a problem with because it's leading into an area that's not, I mean, yeah, that's an enclosure with animals. Would you do that in real life? Probably not nowadays. No, there'd be massive padlocks on this, and probably a couple of massive boulders if I read the landscape of, yes, that is right. There are weeds on that one. That one was, yeah, that was no-tilled. That's one of the few that we did that was no-tilled. So we do need to spray the weeds as well, which is another job that I didn't realise I'd got to do. Although I did mention a couple of sessions ago. Yeah, so this is just a roundup, and then we're going to go into the time lapse. But I didn't want to just burst into yet another time lapse, truthfully. Yeah, so and let's not change the subject again. Yeah, Mr. Burst away from what he's just started the conversation. Yeah, if there is anything that really does annoy you, I would like to, because I'm trying to play realistically, but even that, I remember once when I went off on a tangent and I was going to go where everything was manual attach and everything. Yeah, but then sometimes that's going to drive people crazy as well. So yeah, I really am wanting to hear from yourselves on anything I do that is annoying, and I'm going to listen. I mean, obviously you can't change everything, but you can listen to everybody and see if you can incorporate it truthfully. And if it annoys enough people, then obviously, yeah, you can make changes. And also, one person's idea of acceptable isn't the same as another one. Right, anyway, I'm going to call the shop, and I'm going to have them drop off a load of pig foods for tomorrow, for today, not for tomorrow, for today. Now that is a point actually, we didn't look at. I said that it would be, yeah, we also, there's a few little jobs we have got to pull in. So I think today's going to be the day when we do the weeding and all that type of stuff, the little jobs that escaped my notice, all that canola and stuff that we saw in the Grain Quid Pro, the wheats, yeah, we know there's milk and all that type of stuff, yeah, and all of that type of stuff, and we have got 49 tons of straw, so that is probably in this silo over here, so that's probably enough to put some straw in for today. We've got loads of slurry which we can see, solar fertiliser which should sell at some point. And yeah, it's the Grain Quid Pro. This is why I haven't seen it, because it doesn't show up in this. It is a production. You've got to look in that menu, and that's what's throwing me out. It's a silo, and yet it's not. So yes, right now then, animals I believe is what I was looking at. Yeah, what did the Berkshires go down to? They had 80 odd tons. Whoa, so overnight, 50 odd tons. Yeah, so we really do need to get those. Wow, there's a lot of slurry though, so you can't have it always. Yeah, the straw's not going down terribly. How about our brown Swiss? How are they doing? TMR 105 tons. We need to, yeah, we've got a ton, 538 tons if I remember correctly, of hay in the other one, so we can bring some loose across. And of course, yeah, I have got to be honest, they are so fantastic, these sheep, for being so little trouble. And I have got to start doing chickens. I've only done them on St. Cally, and that's because they were actually there rather than a choice. Anyway, we have got a lot of work to do, so this session we're going to do all of that shifting of stuff. I'm going to do my usual thing. We're going to like phase in and out, so we're going to do the jobs, and I'm going to start the cameras at that point. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to be running around the map like a mad thing. So I am going to meet you over at the yard in a few minutes, and we're going to get cracking before before the time lapse. Let's have this as a normal session before we go burst into a time lapse. So let's get all of these little jobs sorted, and yeah, the little odds. I was going to say something I shouldn't have done. The little bits and bobs sorted this session, and then we're going to go through to the time lapse till September, and then we are going to have a few sessions of monstrous work. We really are. Been an update to Courseplay. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. I've not had a poke around yet, but I did have a quick look at the change log to see what things there was. Been also an update on Rogue River Valley, and a new save game is required. So I'm going to be swizzing out the XML, doing the update, and then swizzing the XML back in, so that we own all the same fields and we've got all the same equipment of the same age swizzed back in, which is something I didn't used to think you could do, but you can. Anyway, yes, that's news for another Let's Play, but just so as you know, I've got that all in hand. We're going to sort that out. But for now, I'm going to see you in a few minutes. I want the Orion, and I need its tyres, and obviously I need it to be on that particular thing. Also, we're going to see, if you push these forward, does it do the same as it does with the wheeler? Does it grab all? It does. I would imagine this is going to struggle with, yeah, unlike the big terrain, I'm not sure this is going to manage the record. But we will try and see if we can pick 6 up. Well, we were 5, and we don't seem to be struggling terribly. But that is the entire reason for the TPS, and the entire reason for why I need the Orion 660 down here, which has got narrow-tizer, because I put it on here down here yesterday ready for this task, so I can't really afford for it to wander off just yet. Corn's growing nicely. Yeah, we shall, well, yeah, in fact, let's have a quick look now at the weeds. I'm sure it is just that one, and I did make mention of that when I realised that field 10 was going to be. Let's just switch weeds on, as in so we can see the weeds. Which is that one there? And yes, it does appear that only field 10 is affected by weeds. So we will spray field 10. We'll get this done off. yeah, we won't for once do a time lapse over this side of the map. Oh yeah, we will. Did we have any? No, it's June now. Even if we should have actually done moved some clothes, we're now going to have to wait until. Just check before you go spouting off, because the amount of times that you're wrong. Let's have a look at clothes and see, have they still got white? So they're at a average price now. They're not just below with a yellowy green, they're not green, and they're sort of dropping. So yeah, we'll see what it's like at the end of the year, and yeah, we will sell them then. It's still worth quite a bit, but yes, we've missed the boat on stupendous pricing because we were so busy. I'm not going to say anything. May was absolutely astronomical, so I think we need to push this. That worked 3 when you did that. Yes, it did. Without pushing, the other side didn't work. So now this is where it's tricky, where yeah, and also yeah, this is true. How I've got to try and get this right. You had a fantastic session on Purbeck yesterday before doing this monster. In fact, yeah, why don't we just stack them on top of each other? It would be an awful lot easier. Yeah, if we know they can handle it, well, we know they can handle 5. I can't imagine one more, but you never know. Weight is a funny thing. Yeah, you see, it's kicking up a little bit at the back. It's not particularly liking that. It's not going mad, it's not doing its rocky thing when things are so terrible, but you can see the weight is, I think we're about at our limit. 6 tons of that. 6,000 litres, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's density and all that comes into play, doesn't it? Ooh, I would imagine that TPS is. This is what I love about the TPS. One of the things. The 2 sets of strap. Now, I've not seen that on anything else. I've always loved that feature on this. It's amazing. Those bags are not going anywhere soon. Right, we actually, yeah, we can run that up with the Orion, and we'll leave this here. Yeah, it's a bit more, yeah, not in the realms of realism as well, isn't it, really? I mean, again, there's got to be that expedience, that trade-off for expediency, otherwise, yeah, I was just literally watching Missy P on Edgewater, Saskatchewan, it's a hard word to say, and I was amazed at the hours he must spend as a content creator. I know he does it for a living, so therefore his work day is Farming Simulator. But the hours he must have spent, literally times 1, like 12 hours solid doing contracts. Wow, hat off to him, truthfully. I suppose, yeah, again, it's expediency for myself. And I've chosen a more dynamic style of content creation. But yeah, I suppose because it then means that my editing doesn't take so long, because I'm trying to squeeze things in. It does mean you have to think on your feet, and it does mean, yeah, I do things in a different way to almost every other content creator, but be careful, you nearly hit the back. Yeah, we have, wow, yeah, no, of course they're not included as well, so the 6 tons that it said is far more than 6 tons, because we've got those 4 or 5 out, so it's 11 tons of clothes which are not included. Seems strange to have that as corn. I'm used to seeing it as grass. It's amazing. I do love this trailer. It's a beautiful green. It's slightly strange though, the chrome green. I've got to be honest. I thought the same of the on Purbeck for the Merlot. I can't think of its name. Yeah, my words. Yeah, it's Friday, and I'm actually remembering my words. I shall have to note the date down. Yeah, that Merlot, it popped in about 10 seconds flat, so yeah, I couldn't think of it. Right, I do believe we need to be spraying. I think we've only used this sprayer once. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking, now Mr. CDP is very, now he's obviously come through all of the iterations of Farming Simulator, I think since either 15 or 17. I know it was massive 17. I've seen, yeah, literally during lockdown, I watched most of his 17, no, a lot, I won't say most, quite a few of his FS17 Let's Plays. Is obviously, you do get coloured by, I mean, it did take me, I have said that I have made quite a conscious to realise that this FS22 is not just about farming, it's also about productions. But how do people feel about that? Do people want to see more farming than productions? You see, I'm trying to embrace productions, but not go away from the farming, because I do love the farming, but also to embrace and to do both. So yeah, I'd like your opinion on this. Oh, I've not left that in a very good position at all. Yes. Yeah, I would. I'd love to hear from you on this, your opinions on that. Is my balance... I mean, I'm trying... Yeah, no, I am. I'm trying to embrace the same as the Grain Quid Pro. I am, truthfully, when I have a bit of a better understanding of it. Now, I do believe... Has it got the red colour? Is this, or is this... No, that's blue. That's... Yeah, fertiliser. Okay, so I think... I think we've got enough in there to do that field, if I'm honest, truly. This has still got its narrows on, which is why I thought of this particular tractor for this particular job. So we're going to set this going, and then of course we're going to get on with the far more important thing. Oh, hang on a minute. What was that? What was that about? Start overloading herbicide. To what am I overloading herbicide? Ah, right. Yes, I was just looking at another H2 Studios, the 1982 Studios one. Yeah, basically it accepts almost all of the attachments of the 3500. The TLX pack, and I think it does do some of the 2020, the plough as well, the snow plough. So yeah, that's carried across for that, and obviously it's got the chunky 1980s look, big and beefy and powerful and all the rest of it, so, and more angular than the rounded shapes of modern vehicles. I won't just say tractors, but vehicles in general. But yes. So let's set this going, and then we're going to get on with it. Yeah, I just wanted to set this going. I know I always say animals first, and I am, because I'm just going to set this going. I'm going to do the course off camera. I'm trying to be good, especially then this is the Let's Play that really taught me that just stop the camera for a minute and just shut this gate. Literally 10 minutes ago. Let's see if I can remember to actually shut it after I leave. Now, I've done it a few times during the Let's Play, but yeah, not all of the time. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to start this in a few minutes. So yes, I'm going to do the course, and then we're going to get cracking. So I'm going to see you in a minute. Right, I'll set that going. Hopefully that'll be fine. Oh, nearly got walloped. Right, I'll leave those gates open, and I'm going to see you. We're going to get cracking with the time-lapse section of this, the feeding bit, and all of that type of stuff. We've got a lot more equipment down here, so I'm going to try to streamline this over the coming months, so that we've got some equipment over here and some equipment over there and all that. I might even bring one of the front loaders. We have got a front loader down the bottom. Might bring that up. Yeah, and do the loading of the pig food and keep everything in little islands of activity, so there's not so much popping around. Yeah, so I'm going to see you shortly at the yard. Right, I am going to say my words. Yeah, we're going to go into that time lapse. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Now then, I'm coming out I'm coming out of the Timelapse for this because, yeah, I'm being silly. I'm still playing old school. Now this has the capability of sending, and now I know I was going to look off camera and I was going to do this and then, but I thought if you do that, you're never going to be able to show people what to do. So we'll figure it out together. So we need to know, I don't know where you go to in this to actually do the production. No, I don't. So we're going to go in the menu, yeah, because I don't know where it is. I could be really close to it, but yeah, let's have a. Oh, yeah, it's finished. Fantastic. Done a cracking job. We will leave that for a minute. I shall have to take it off because I don't want any damage being done. All right, even though I know technically there isn't, but yeah, the idea of it is obviously. Oh, do you know, iPad, shut up. Gordon Bennett, Star Trek. Right. Grain Quid Pro. We need to be sticking the one with the hay, with the lots of hay. So no, that isn't the Grain Quid Pro, is it? No, it's not. That is this one. We are in the Grain Quid Pro, but we're in the wrong one. So we need to be sending the oats out. So we need to go to sugar bit. We need to deactivate those, and we need to be activating the oats, which there are 60 tons, and we need to be activating the canola, and we need to be then going down to the and telling it to go, don't we? I believe outgoing, that's right. So we need to oats, we need to distribute, and canola we need to distribute. And then what we need to do is we need to go to the all-in-one by the Lords, and we need to actually do something on that and switch things on, if I've not already, because I may have done this side a long while ago. I do seem to recall ages ago actually having a bit of a go. Now again, thanks to Marty's advice, we know there's no point in having that on. It's costing us. So let's pack that in. We need to take the stones down to the bottom, and yeah, that's good, because that is what we want to be doing. And now, where did the Grain Quid Pro go with the hay in? Is that one? No, that is the one that would be near the pig. That's number 2. Does it not go in order then? Well, it can't do. It must actually do this like in order that you bought them or something. Here we are, all in one. Right, so bread. We want the oat flour. Yeah, that's true. It's going to go in there. So that is definitely there. Canola oil. We want to be doing the canola to that. And yeah, it's not there at the minute, we know, but it will be later. Sugar beet sugar, I think we will have, let's have a look. Sugar's got 76 tons, so I do believe we really ought to be selling our sugar, because that is, of course, what we were trying to do with it. So bread, well, we will be making bread, and as I know from lots of Let's Plays, we will sell that when it's done. I know we could send out others, but our other one manages quite nicely. The canola oil. Now that we're going to store, because we're going to sell that in November. The sugar we are going to sell, and the clothes we are spawning. Right, smashing. I do believe that is everything that we'd forgotten. Is that right? Oat flour. The oats are going to go in there. And we want the oat flour to be distributing. We're making bread, which we're selling. Is that right? Oat flour. It will go into there from the Grain Quid Pro. It will be, well, let's check. We need to be checking that we've switched the flour to distributing. Otherwise, it won't work. So I think that's everything. The canola oil is storing until, I think we've just covered everything. So really on the hour, there's 279 tons. Now the other thing we do need to do is in our productions also is to find the last Grain Quid Pro. We have got 3. No, we've got 2. No, we have definitely got 3. We've got, that is true. It said 2. What happened to number 3? Oh, there's 2 2s. Okay, right. Well then, we need to find out. That is a little bit confusing. Well, we need to find the one with the hay. Now that's the one we're at now. The one with the hay is... Oh, yes, I saw it, 538, just at the bottom. Right, so we want that. Ah. We did do that to distributing. But what is it distributing to? Nothing needs it, and that is why it's going to stick there. But if we go to number 1, and we say that we want hay storing, so, do we need to activate it? Yeah, I think that's like a beacon that tells it to actually suck it across. I think so. We should. I'm sure that's what we did with the stones at the bottom. Now the other thing is, we do need to be taking those stones down to the bottom. Now, hang on a minute. Didn't I do that? Isn't that what we sent down to the bottom last session? A tractor, I believe. I do think we did. Right, so yeah, we're going to crack on. In fact, yeah, it's nearly 9 o'clock. We're going to crack on again. We're going to time lapse this little bit. No, we're not. I'd like to be sort of, yeah, explaining. Well, I want to see if this works as well, because it is important. Yeah, we'll do the rest in a non-time lapse thing, and we will crack on after 8 minutes have gone, and we shall see if my work is right or wrong. But we do, yeah, for once we need to pop down the bottom. Yeah, because we will allow it. We will. Yeah, we don't. Yes, I was right. I did send it. Ooh. So the grass that I sent it to is actually now that's strange, because if we send it into our field, it won't go. I'm not going to ask the question on how you got into this field with the gate. No, the driver probably shut the gates on his way out. Let's not think the worst. Yeah, let's quickly take these across and stick them in, but also let's be good and let's shut those gates. Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. And let's not get run over. That's a very bad idea. Yes, we never did do anything with those logs, but I'm quite sure we'll burn them in winter, so... Right. Yeah, I left that one tractor down here to do it, although I've got to be honest, I don't seriously think we need any more water in there. I really don't. Now the Vermeer, I don't think we'll be using the Vermeer anymore, but just in case. Now I was going to say I need that to be in there. Right, now let's just have a quick look and see if it's got the active things, because you can read that from here, can't you? It says silage digestate, stones and mineral feed now running. Brilliant. Oh, wasn't there another ingredient though? No, can I remember where I think it's near the door, but it's not. It's weird, this one is. It's the other side, I think. It's not actually right where the door is. It's sort of like offset slightly, I think. Yeah, that's right. Let's just check that we've got the other ingredient. Now that's showing as... What does it need? Soybeans. And we obviously have still got some soybeans that are left. 5,000. That's going to do an awful lot. So yeah, that's going to tide us through. That's fantastic. Now, do we need this back up the top? I think we have enough tractors at the top at the minute to... actually cover us up there. Yeah, I was half saying about the gates, wasn't I? Yeah, I mean, obviously my gates, in real life, of course, I would shut them, but I don't know, it's a bit like, I've owned a shop in my time, and an open gate is an inviting gate, which, obviously, to a farmer, to nasty thieves. Luckily, in this game, we don't have any thieves to worry about. Otherwise, I would do what the other farmers do, which is to stick giant stones in, and lock the gates and all the rest of it. Yeah, because it must be terrible for farmers to have their livelihood ripped to pieces and have all that hassle and ruination thrust upon them by someone who's taken their livelihood away from them. Anyway, enough. Yeah, I shall see you at the top of the farm. Let's just switch the camera on, and yeah, and took my eye off the ball for 1 second and went through the hedge. I do apologise for that. That wasn't supposed to work like that. I was doing too much at once, as is my want. Right, so we've got that. We need to take that across. We need the 70 tonner, which we'd half got. Let's try and do this. We've got 4 minutes left. Let's crack on. Yeah, let's go down to the pig farm and we'll get that slurry from down there as well. And then we'll continue with what's left of the time lapse, or I don't know. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, this. I like the way that you can also, if you're close enough, that is, but you can tell us to fill when it's half. To start filling, and it'll re-empty. It's something I was reminded of on Purbeck. When I thought, why is that actually refilling? Why is it emptying again? Because obviously it almost emptied, and then I pressed fill, but because you'd told it to empty, it still continues to empty. So you almost get 2 empties of your thing, which when you've got a 15-ton capacity, means you've really got a 30-ton capacity if you do it at the right time. So I thought that was quite good. Now, why am I not getting a pop? Because I'm probably too far out. And I'm still too far out. And I okay, that was definitely different. Yeah, no, normally don't often this, but being as we're doing this in the normal method, yes, we shall do this, and we shall see at 9 o'clock if all of those things are popping from one place to the other, and if I have learning my lesson about how to use the Grain Quid Pro to its maximum efficiency. Yes, I do very much like that, the fact you don't have to race all over the map doing all of these things yourself when you've got minions that will transport your goods for a very modest cost. Yeah, I mean, I do realise there is a surcharge for this transport, but it's definitely, in my personal opinion, between about 3 and 7% max. It's not bad. And of course you can, if you are on PC and Mac, you can tweak that. Now I personally am quite happy with that to be as it's supposed to be in the game. I really do think that the surcharge is realistic. Yeah, and the minions, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Let's say it's true, it could be taken as a derogatory way, even though obviously I was thinking it as those cuddly yellow minions rather than as a bad. I suppose it's still, you could take that as a bad. Why am I worrying about that? I'm sure you all know how I mean it. Yeah, right, I also need to grab that out. The gates are open. We could tell him to pop in here. 8:59, it's gonna pop in a minute, and I've done it again. Yes, you just have to go over a little bit. And did you look to see if there was a car? Right, 8:59, keep your eye on the time. A minute can seem such a long time when you're watching it. Sometimes. I don't want to miss it, that's all. I want to look. It does take a couple of seconds, as I've noticed, for it to actually do its little pop thing. I think that's because the game is doing such a lot at the tick, checking so many different things. Let's be a little bit more realistic and go right underneath. Or do. No, I should have. Yeah. Oh wow. Wow, that's quite amazing. Oh, sugar, of course, yes. Yeah, I've got lots of mods like that, which I don't do that much contracts, but yeah, they are. I don't tweak most things. I like them to see if it's going to add to realism or not. Now then, let's just see. Have we had a burst of things from one to another? We don't want to look at the all-in-one by the Lort and see, have we got things? Bread is looking active, oat flour is looking active, and canola oil is looking active. So that, to me, is a win. Absolutely. It was me going to run all those tonnages across. And did the sugar sell? It did indeed, which is where that huge amount of money came from. Fantastic. There we go. Oh, wow. Now, I think there's more than that. I think that this has actually got a little bit more. Yes, 13 tons of... Now, I think there's enough straw for us to actually manage this time. Do I go into a time lapse? Do you know? For once, let's not. Yeah. The other thing is, yeah, I know I have mentioned this briefly, but actually when you time lapse, I mean, I can't talk all of the time because a lot of jobs do. Truthfully, that's not me ducking out and making it. Now, I do believe we want the pigs to be fed, but I'm going to call the shop as I said I was going to, and I haven't done that yet, and have the pig food delivered. And I'm also going to do the sprayer to go back to this yard over there. So yeah, I'm going to do this, and then we're going to do a couple of jobs off camera. And yeah, what more have we got to do? We've done the dairy. This is the last loaded slurry. We have got... Yeah, let me finish. I am a terror for jumping. I realise that my mind's like jigger all over the place, and it's not good, not really. It's, yeah, I'm always thinking, but sometimes you've got to be a bit more patient and steady rather than darting all over the place like a mad thing. Yeah, and now I've forgotten to tell you where I was going to go. I'll remember. I always, yeah, the more you chase, the more it disappears. I was actually going to go over the job list, I think. No, I wasn't. That's a good attempt to cover, but no. Right, it'll come to me. As I say, the more you chase, the more it disappears. So, right, now we need to take that to the top. The dairy's done. We've got straw is missing. That's the thing. We're going to have to buy some straw from now. I think, yeah, we did empty this. I remember looking a few sessions ago. This is what I was talking about, short-term memory. My short-term memory is terrible, and yet I can remember stupid little details that are really totally unimportant that most people don't. I just don't get it. It's like one of my memories is a super-duper, and the other is not so super-duper. Right, let's leave that going. Over the day, that's going to bring in quite a lot. We've done... Now, yeah, let's take the 70 tonner, and yeah, which we were going to do for running the stuff across there when I thought, hey, I don't need to do that. Yeah, because what we're going to do is we're going to grab the manure. That is a point. I don't think this can have a hitch, can it? I'm almost sure it's one of the very few shortcomings of this particular, my favourite trailer. I'm sure it can't. We shall have a check. But it is one thing that the 30 tonners you can do. So what we can do is let go of you and grab you, and that way we can grab 30 tons of straw, which we're going to buy from our partner 82 Studios that has a we're going to call them now and ask them to drop off 30 tons of... Now, it's the only thing that I don't like about the sell point, the multi-fruit buying, is the fact that I used to love on FS19 the... it has got a hitch, but it seems not for that kind of cup type one. Yes, it hasn't. Okay, right. So that's rather annoying, because we do know that I need far more than 30 tons, so that's not going to work. Okay, it was worth a shot. I was going to say I'm going to check this out, but I'm almost sure. I know the bigger one, the lorry one, which, why on earth, what a mess. Yeah, I'm sure that has. I don't think this does, but let's just remind myself, because I don't do this very often. I'm sure I'm right, but let's check. I didn't quite clean this enough, did I? Yeah, what was I chatting about? Right, repair. Oh, wow. 979. Gordon Bennett. I'm sure. No, I was right. It doesn't have a rear hitch. Well, that's all that matters. Can't get over that. That was mega expensive. Right, anyway, let's go down. We're going to grab the manure. Well, we have got a lot of tractors. Why don't we buy No, I'm meaning by, but let's grab another tractor, stick it on follow, and we'll go, yeah, we can grab, we have plenty of tractors up here, let's grab that 30 and just follow down, and we will grab 30 tonnes of straw from the multi-fruit buying. You know, the one thing I am intrigued about is that where did I send the hay from that one to this one? Did I decipher that particular ability of the Grain Quid Pro correctly? I'm sure we did do that for the mineral feed, but did I? As the 538 tonnes of hay in this particular Grain Quid Pro. So yes, I did. Fantastic. So I was right. I do love it because it is, I've got to be honest, it's quite a complex thing that actually does. So yes, we figured it out. And I didn't mislead you, not even slightly. Right, now we need to get this on follow. You see, you can teach an old dog new tricks. It's not true what they say. And I could have took the 50 tonner actually, and oh no, it's got well, we can empty that bit of silaging. It's not going to hurt. I know what I was going to say. Yes, I have mentioned it in the past, and I did half say it. Yeah, don't ever think that time lapses are a fob off, because the time lapse I did last session was 30 gigabytes raw. Then I used a special program to sort of literally, it doesn't lose much quality either, that uses a combination of graphics processor and a CPU processor and software to condense it. It's a lot faster than doing the X265, which is to use your processor to absolutely marmalize it, and it takes hours. You could literally do that video. In fact, I was going to do it that way. Oh yeah, that's my bad. That was going to take over 6 hours for the desktop to process using the X265 method, which basically beats it into submission so that it actually compresses it to the best that it can be without losing too much quality. It is quite amazing. It's a little bit similar principle to the Bitcoin dilemma of, like, yeah, sort of breaking into the bitcoins and doing that. It's very similar to that, using an algorithm that basically makes it as small as it possibly can. Yeah, so when I'm doing a time lapse, it was 30 gig, the one that I did. After that process, it was 9 gig, and I watched that this morning just to make sure that the quality. I've only had this program for about a fortnight, because when I went to the AMD, I have got my older NVIDIA. The compression, I was very, very disappointed in the compression, even though lots of things say that the compression's come a long way for the AMD graphics cards in comparison to the NVIDIA's, because NVIDIA was leading on that for a long time. Well, if that's true, then it's not been passed over to all of the different software codecs and all that yet, because I've got to be honest, it stinks. It really is terrible. So I have to, well, until I got this piece of in fact, actually no, it's still the NVIDIA that actually gives it that ability as well. So it really does. If I do that on the AMD on my desktop, which has got a far more powerful CPU, it still doesn't compress the same as the NVIDIA. So whatever people are saying, then they must be using software that I haven't got, and I've scoured the internet and all of the very best software to try to get the best for doing 4K content where I don't lose the quality terribly. So we need to be grabbing the, let's stop that on follow for now. We need some, thank you very much, young lady. She always gets me with having the Benny. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that because it sounds horrible. Yeah, from a casual look, she looks very masculine because she's obscuring her femininity with a Benny hat and just a standard workwear, which there's nothing wrong with that. Whoa. Yeah, there isn't. But a casual glance, the feminine, a bit like if you saw a lady in trousers or a lady in a dress. One would stick out as definitely being a lady, the other you'd have to look a little bit more to actually see if it was a lady or not. And that's not me trying to be horrible in any way, shape or form. Right, so straw. Yeah, now let's see if we can actually get under the nozzle without scraping the... Yeah, well, I can't do much about that. It sort of is a bit... Right, yes, straw. Yeah, you can't, it's true. You can't really pretend not to go through the nozzle, because you just do. Right. Food. We still need the... Oh, did I pull that away? No, that is only 27 tonnes of manure. We also, though, while we've got that, let's grab that. And yeah, there was 13 tonnes of slurry. I'm not going to look again. I remember. I've not forgotten. Which, yes, my short-term memory seems to be okay today. It is very hit and miss. It truly is. Yeah, I've read lots of articles about it. I was getting a little bit worried about early onset dementia. Not saying that that's not a possibility, but yeah, there's a few superfoods and articles. Some of it is... now, where are you going with this? Yeah, there's quite a few articles about things that help your... if you have got that, which you can't cure it, obviously, there are certain... Well, actually, yeah, there's lots of things that say you can and you can't, and there are secret recipes and all this type of stuff. And obviously, they want to sell you something to make a fortune, truthfully. But with it being such a... It is one of those topics that is a massive thing at the minute, right? So we don't need much more than that. So that's full. Let's fill this up again, top it up. But it is obviously a very, very big thing from people of 40 odd onwards. But it doesn't go backwards. But then I've read lots of things, and there are a few articles that seem to agree on some points. One was coconut oil. So a few months ago, thought, well, it's not really that big a thing to actually... No, did we ever stick any of this in here? But it's not going to... Yeah, because we're not buying it. This is... Did we ever... No, we didn't. That's all right then. And I have got to be honest, it has helped. The other thing is, I do think this stress is another thing which my job, my old job especially, I've literally did mention, so I think it was on Stone Valley, that I used to work for a horrible company. And I knew in the last 3 months of my job that they were looking to try to get rid of me, because I was fast approaching the 2-year threshold where you have a legal right to... I was in a union to protect me, but it's of no protection whatsoever, and the union was absolutely useless, I've got to be honest, which is the second time I've been in a union and they really didn't do any good at all. Yeah, which is a shame. You know, it's the reason why I never signed up to this union. The second time was because of how useless I found unions the first time, because they offered no backup when I did need them, and that's the only time that you really do need a union, and this was exactly the same. And yeah, no, it really, there were not any... I'm not going to name names because that would be now, why did you not follow? Oh well, we'll grab it in a minute. I'm not... Yeah, we're not going to like make it an episode out of this. I don't know why that went wrong, but it did. Perhaps, yeah, sometimes when you're chattering you don't notice that it didn't pop, but I'm sure it did. I'm sure that unless I have got that habit of when I'm rushing, the white line doesn't finish and I just rip off, and of course then that breaks the white line and your worker is cancelled. It could have been that, truthfully. Yeah, but with this early onset dementia, I read lots of articles, and I did sort of order a few things, also a few vitamin B and things like that. As I say, I think most of mine was probably the stress of that. But no, I have noticed over the last few years. But I thought, well, let's... Also, I do insist on like superfoods like blueberries and things like that. So again, these are all things. And the other thing was omega oils. The fish oil thingamajigs, omega-3 or omega... I can't remember exactly what it is, but that... Yeah, I always insist on that now. So I've got a bit of a health regime going on, and I've got to be honest, yeah, I have noticed a difference. So one of them, probably the coconut oil, I would say, is having a massive impact. Plus which, I'm no longer the boss. Yeah, I'm not the IT manager at my present place. That is, so I'm just quite happy to be not ordered around per se, although there is an element of that, obviously. My boss orders me around, which there was a bit of an adjustment with that, as there would be for someone who's used to giving orders, and then now you've got to take orders. So yeah, there was a bit of that, but I'm about there now. I don't necessarily agree that my boss is always right. He's got a completely different management style to me. Yeah, he is a typical manager that likes to manage and not particularly does. No, I won't say that, that's unfair, because you never know, he could be watching. Yeah, I actually did share with the newsletter at work that I was a content creator, because they want to find out about hobbies and things like that. So yeah, you never know. Be a very silly move. But yeah, I have actually about got used to that anyway, so that's not... yeah, he has got a different management style though. I was taught my IT skills by a manager that was very hands-on, always... right, what do we need to do? We need to go down to the other yard. We shall continue this conversation in a minute. Yeah, let's go and grab that straw. So I'm going to see you down at the I don't think yard. I could have actually forgotten. For some reason, yeah, I don't know why, but they stopped following, because that... Or was that about where I did it? It may have been. Yeah, anyway, yeah, the conversation. Yes, there's less stress, because I don't have to worry about being the top dog. I just literally have to worry about getting the job done, which I've done for 15 odd years now. So yeah, I mean, there were new procedures and policies and new ways of doing things that every company has got, which obviously you've got to take on board. But yeah, I think I've had an awful lot of stress. Not my last job, the job before that, I always thought this. There is an element to managing which people don't tell you, because it's not really written down in a rule book per se. But every job, especially a management job, when you're looking after I think there's a certain size of an organisation as well that really is wrong for one person to manage. I used to manage 7 schools, and it was too much for one person. It really was. Now, they did give me help, but as the IT manager, or network manager, as that one was called, that's pressure is on your shoulders and your shoulders only, and it was too much for one person. So yeah, I sort of got used to it, but I don't think I ever did get used to it. We need to be sticking this in with the cows. Yeah, we do. So what time are we at? 20 past 9. So I don't think somehow... we also need, though, we're going to need another lot of this. Yeah, well, it's true. I think I was wanting to rip... Yeah, let's one thing at a time. Let's do this one first. The beauty of doing it in this is it doesn't lift. Yeah, there is definitely that lead when you are a manager. Even the management of the place itself does have a pressure upon your shoulders now. So I don't envy my present boss, even though he is only managing one place, because it does put pressure. And also, your personality can assist you, and I didn't let it worry me unduly, but it does still have a pressure, because it doesn't help to actually... I never noticed those little tiny things moving underneath. That's amazing. Yeah, so I didn't. There's no point in panicking, no point in worrying. I think we need some more. We do 50 tons out of 80. Yeah, I think we need to be grabbing some more, really. And then we need to stick some more in that one. So I think we're going to go and get another load in the 70 tonner as well, and hope that actually follows us nicely. Does it matter that that's had manure in it? We've just washed it. It's not terribly mucky, not really. So it'll only get a little bit mucky on the edges, won't it? Really, it's for bedding. It's not really for feed, and I know the animals, the cows will munch on it a little, because they do. Right, let's see this time. Right, that's definitely and it's at the same driver again. It is, well, I don't know if it's Gin Urso, but it's the the lady that I was talking about with a bob with a Benny hat, as we used to know it on Crossroads when I was a kid. So I used to get the nickname the Benny Hat. So yes, it's not me being horrible to Benny either. Yeah, he was a cracking character in Crossroads. Right, now, are you still following? You are indeed. Right, let's go and get some more straw, so that we're hopefully ahead of the game, and tomorrow we won't need to do it, and we still need to feed the pigs. Do you know, for once today we're going to just do it the easy way, being as we've got the 70 tonner. We're going to grab 70 tons and stick the pig food in, because I've faffed around too much and we're not in a time lapse, so it is wasting, not wasting a session. I didn't want to rush through this. That was what I was going to say a few minutes ago. Yeah, in some ways, I'll be very, very sorry. Now, there is that period of time, oh, careful, yeah, where you are sort of saying goodbye to a Let's Play and acknowledging how good it is and all the rest of it. And this has been a cracking map. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect when I first came on Riverside. It really is an absolutely amazing, I mean, don't get me wrong, Missy B, the slurry yard is one of my absolute favourite. Right, so we want straw still, do we? Yes, we do. And we'll stop you following for a minute, even though I know I'm going to start you again. Thank you very much, Tis Ginurso, for your assistance. Yeah, and then, you should have done it the other way. Oh. Yeah, my bad. Now then, you're going to need to be careful because the tractor behind. Need to pull out wide. And now we have to faff around because she's still not paying attention properly. Let's stick that in there, and we need to be grabbing 70 tons of pig food. Because you can't put pig food in that other one. Oh dear. I suppose, yeah, we could be clever. Like, we could at least grab that straw from that in the 50-odd tonner, and at least that's not going to be too terrible. Right, let's do a bit of a swap over then. Yes, it was really had a fantastic session on Purbet yesterday. Literally sort of pioneering a new skill. I do love it when you find a new skill. To me, I'm not going to say no one else has ever done it. We've used it with potatoes a few times to use the belt system, as we did on this very map. Oh no! Oh, what are you doing? What was that? What did it charge me for? I mean, I'm glad it didn't actually top it up. We need to be grabbing the straw from that. Still nearly, as we're chatting. I'm a terror. Right, we need to, on literally grabbing the straw from the fields. And I'm also going to have, I'm even making it even better for next time by having one of the windrowers that builds the windrowers and makes them bigger and bigger. Well, there are a couple that you could use. There is one of the Crone, the 9.7 metre Crone, that does it. And then, of course, there is the super duper, the one that often appears in contracts. I should show you, because I cannot for the life of me think of its name right this very minute. It is the Merge Max. Yes, we treated ourselves to a brand new Merge Max out of the money that we just got for the fertiliser business, which I do believe we're going to come out of, and we're going to go into the compost business because we've never done it. Yeah, but I am going to obviously get rid of all of the stuff to make the fertiliser first from pig food. It's not far off here, I don't think. Or is it? Oh, I've probably gone the wrong way round. Yes, I know it's going to cost me an absolute arm and a leg. But this is the price you pay for faffing around, and yeah, that never gets easy to swallow. Never gets easy to swallow. That versus if we do it the nice way, ordering it from, we will order it for tomorrow morning. I will do that ready. We'll order the about 70 tons. So what is that? That is 14,000 from our other supplier. the Lord. Right, let's have a look. So add 7, no, wait for it to all pour in. So we should be good for straw now. 50 tonnes out of 50 tonnes. Slurry, we've still got 13 tonnes, but I'm happy with that. Food's up at 100 tonnes, so we have got a little bit left. 23 tonnes, which will stick in storage, and then we're going to grab our straw. Yes, so let's shift that one out of the way. 46.6 tonnes, and we will go and stick some to mix our total mix ration. And hopefully, yes, we've got that other one on sending our produce up to the mixer, which works well. Let's stick that in there. I do believe, is this the last job of the day? I think it is. So we've not time-lapsed per se. Did I finish that conversation about the time? I think I did. Yes, I did. I basically was saying that the final size, I didn't tell you the final size of the 30 gigabyte file when it was compressed with using that special software. It doesn't lose an awful lot. I think the colours are slightly less vivid, if I'm honest. It's a little bit washed out from what I see here to what you see, but not terribly. And there has got to be a trade-off. If I had to start uploading 30 gigabyte files, I would be lucky if I'd get one upload every 2 days. Now, hang on, have I just taken that away without... I have. All I've done is empty the pig food. We want straw. I cannot do two things at once. I am a terror. Right, yes, let's get some straw. Yeah, I just couldn't get any sessions done really if I do that. I mean, it's an hour and 14 minutes, I think, or an hour and 17 minutes at the Purbeck one. It was a massive one, and a lot of it was time-lapse because, yeah, the skill was, it was a new skill. We're grabbing the straw off the field. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, I know in theory you should, but I don't know how you guys and gals do that yourselves until I've done something on Farm Simulator. A bit like when I tried on Riverside to do the no, we won't, which is the right way to go back to. Yeah, when I tried to push the was it sugar beets or potatoes into piles? I think it was the potatoes, wasn't it? It didn't work. It really didn't. Now, obviously in real life it would. You could push them with a plough, but in Farm Simulator it doesn't work. And it should have done, but it doesn't. And obviously until I've tried something, because on paper it should do it, or in reality it should do it, I don't class it as doing, as in my head it being doable until I've tried it. And there are many things I've tried, like sticking bales in traditional trailers. I've done that a couple of times. You can do it, but you're not supposed to. It'll let you do it. Again, the dimensions of the bales aren't very good. It doesn't work very well, but I wanted to try to see if you could do it. I like to challenge, to know why you can't do things. I do. It's just the way that I am. Right, let's wait for that to pop. Fantastic. I always want to call that the bandana man Steve. I don't know why, but yeah. I do. I don't know what he just looks like a Steve to me. But yes, so I got that down to 9 gigabytes. It's still going to be a big one. And a lot of mine I can get down to 3 or 4 gig, but that was big. Basically, when I do a time lapse, they are monstrous. So that was the moral of the story that I was trying to say. But I was giving you background details to let you know why. Yeah, so this session that we're doing now, it can be an hour and a half long, and it may well be, without any kind of compression, 7 or 8 gig, and by the time I compress it, 1 or 2, which is super, and you won't lose much quality at all, because I insist upon it. That's why I always watch the compressed ones for a few minutes to make sure it's okay, and I've left my phone on. Do you know? Been so good at that recently. Except for my, okay. Yes, and I fine-tuned it. I've literally going to get a massive windrow, so it's and again I wish you could do the same with potatoes, that you could literally, windrow would be a little bit, would they take damage in real life? Maybe, although I don't know, people use buckets to move them and stuff like that. You would do it gently. I suppose it's a skill in itself. So I don't know. Right, we need to stick. Yeah, we're going to stick this in. Actually, this makes more sense in there, and that's there because it's a pusher. Thank you very much, young man. That makes more sense to use this in that, and any excess, no, we can stick the whole 70 ton in. The other's going to be about full, so we shall see what we've got in here. Yeah, so the bottom line is, the moral of this story is, spitting my words out all in one, is time lapses make the file size absolutely monstrous. So don't ever think I'm fobbing you off. Not only that, of course, you've got to mix your music and add that on and all that type of stuff as well, but I still think there is a place for it. I do, truthfully. But I do think I'm not a massive fan, as I've said many times, of the 7 speed that is frequently used for time lapses, or even the 5 times that a lot of people use. I used to use in the past. I mostly do 3 times, and on the small tiny clips that I do where I've only got a few seconds, I believe we've got an indicator on. Yeah, when I've only got a few seconds, I always do that times 2, because otherwise it'll be gone in the blink of an eye for a 10-second clip, and you won't know what was even going on about. There are odd occasions, if it's only a 7-second clip, I'll do it times 1. Yeah, in those transitions, you've got to play it by ear. A lot of your content creation is literally. I only tell you this because there's not many people that ever share secrets, and I think there's a place for most of us to do content, whether that's like, whether you want to do it professionally, whether you want to do it as a hobby, or yeah, just pay it forward, you know, that type of thing. That's one of the reasons Mr. Silly P got me through it. So I thought, well, he's got a different style to myself. I think I've got something to. Now then, let's see. Ooh, what on earth has happened to? It's because we are at a. Right, yeah. If I do this now, let me show you what I'm on about. And then, it's full. I can't show you because it's absolutely full. It is as well. Absolutely brilliant. So then, obviously that's going to get mixed. We need to shift. No, I did. I shifted that out of the way. I'm getting subconsciously. You say that. That poor Robo is trying to get out, and you have blocked his way. You moved that out of the way, and you blocked his way with the. Yes, with that, the forage bit. So let's shift it out of his way and let him do his job. I do apologise, Mr. Laley. There you go. We'll let you do your job. My bad. I thought I was being so clever. Right, let's stick this over here with the header, and we will. I think we're about there, if I'm honest. I think we've about cracked it. Let's have a quick look. We broke the 7 million. Let's just have a quick look on. Did we bother with the? I can't remember if we did. Yes, we did. Oh, a Terraflex header has dropped, and of course we're not doing any harvesting. Yeah, there is the new. Now I was right. I don't know if you remember a few weeks back when I said I got the gist of the swather, that it did crops, and then I second guessed myself and said no, I must have got the wrong end of the stick. It's really for grass, and I wish I'd have realised it was for grass all along, because I would have used it sooner. Which is true. I mean, it does do grass as well, but it actually does do crops, and there's a nice bonus. So I really do want to pull that into a Let's Play. There's the actual thing that's. I think it is Edgewater, Saskatchewan, actually is one of those maps that supports it. I think it was the first one that did. But yes, there's the add-on now for PC and Mac where you can actually do that on every map, I believe. Yeah, I do think that. Oh, you've done it again. You've blocked him that away now. My bad. It's twice. Sorry, you get on. Right, so that should be full, and let's just have a look at our amounts. I do like to show you, and preferably without. Yeah, so there's the 86 tonnes for the actual mixing of our thing. There's 74 tonnes of silage. I need 10 tonnes of hay, but we have got lots of hay in there. So let's stick this straw into the Grainwood Pro, and we're going to get a couple of lots of hay so that that's equalised to make as much as we possibly can. Right, let's overload first, and then we should put some hay in. I think 50 tonnes should about equalise to all of the rest, and then I think that is about it. Brilliant. Without any effort from ourselves, we have transported well, when I say we, I mean we, the team that is my team, have transported 538 tonnes of hay from that one to this one. Now do you begin to see just how wonderful the Grainwood Pro is? And I nearly missed it too, I've got to be honest. It is a super duper thing. Yes, it can sort of teleport, but obviously it's not really... Yeah, it's not really teleporting, I will say. It's that we have got transportation minions that are transporting that across for us. So that is absolutely amazing. It really is. Now, is he back in his... He is? He's not doing his mixing though, where I can't stick things in. So, yeah, he's happy with me to drop this off for the minute. I just need to not leave it in his way. No, also be careful, don't get too close, because that back door does pop up still. Yeah, we're going to do it outside. Is it still going to clock it? Oh, that's as good as it gets. Right, so let's have a look when that's finished. Yeah, we've got everything going. I'm quite pleased because in this one session we have actually achieved quite a lot. We've got all of those little odd jobs done. I thought we'd got everything done. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through till July morning. Well, we're going to check the animals first while that's unloading. Let's have a quick look, make sure that we have not missed anything. We've fed the... we didn't feed... Now, that will do till tomorrow. They don't eat that much, and of course the grass is growing enormously. Pigs are totally fed, and we've got 121 tonnes, which is going to go up over the day, definitely, with what we've just done there. Let's shift that out of the way to not block the robo feeder for the next few hours. Yeah, we've got our, obviously the fertiliser business is going to kick in a little while through the day. So nearly 90 tonnes of that silage. We're still a little bit short on the hay. Mineral feed, he's done all of that. So right, let's do one more hay. Yeah, it's not like we haven't got plenty, is it? We've got lots. So yeah, we will stick to this one. It's just 70 tonnes is slightly better, but yeah. Yeah, so these actual wagons are quite useful now because they actually do TMR and all sorts of things in them that they never used to do. I think they did do size before. I think what I was saying earlier, this is going to be a bit of a monster because, I think I'm going to do 2 sessions because I did a 30-minute session earlier. Oh, that's going to be hard to... we might just keep it as a 30-minute. It's still going to be June, and I did a bit of chatting, and I was going to link it to this, but I think that this is going to be a bit of a monster, if I'm honest. So I don't think an hour and a half of me chatting is probably the way to go. Yeah, we shall time lapse July and August, I think. We may do one. See if I can just time lapse, go straight through, as in like bang bang, and just we could do that. That's just so that we get to September and we can get our monster harvest done. I just want to check on camera. I know I did the pH and the nitrogen, the lime and the fertilizer yesterday, so we don't need to go back over that. Oh no, we saw the weeds. Yeah, that's it. That was the last job that we needed to do. So yes, there's nothing more we do need to do actually. That's all good, right? No, not too much closer. That is about right. Oh, just missed knocking that bar. Yes, so we'll do the next 2 sessions, and again, it's not me rushing. This one's more about me, sort of saying goodbye. In a way, you do as a content creator, and I'm sure actually you yourselves, when you're knowing the Let's Play is nearly over, you're almost in a wistful sort of way saying goodbye to all the things that you love about it. the challenge is over really when you, well, it should be when you've got to this stage of the game. Let's make sure we're out far enough away. And yeah, there's plenty of room. We've not left anything in there as I have done on other months. Or should we switch this light on for later or in the morning? I do like this on. It's there we go. Wrong button. Always helps when you do the right one. I'm paying the electric, so it doesn't matter. Right, so then, let's just make sure... Yeah, no, we've just said, we've just been through it. Let's not go round and round in circles. So all that remains is for us to go through till July morning, and there should be the normal tick-ups of the fertiliser business and all the rest of it. And yeah, we've sold our sugar, so that's that massive wallop of income. That's, yeah. And let's go through till 8 o'clock. Why do you keep wanting to do 9? That's September. And we are going to leave it on July morning. We've gone through another month. Yeah, I do. Again, it is true. It is just your way of like saying goodbye. Really, great demand at the slurry yard. Whoa! See, now that's a bit more like what you get used to. That's 500 odd thousand. Oh, I think it's 4. I think it was on 7.1. Now that's a massive leap. That's a lot of fertiliser and a lot of all the rest of it. So yeah, that we are doing. Yeah, I know we've got to shift that as well. Now, I think we've got enough. Yeah, it is a shame because it would have been nice to have the Volvo, and I don't think we need to be getting a seeder, even as good as that is. And it is a good seeder. Is it? No, it is just a traditional seeder. And although we're doing a lot of corn, we're not doing it in that way. So yeah, absolutely. Oh no, we don't need that either. Oh, I've used the AGI, that as well. That is the very one that I've got on Purbeck because of how good it was on this. And again, a secret ability that I didn't realise it did, which you may well have known. If you switch that on and you attach it to the tractor, it picks up bits, which means you can drive around with the tractor and then stick a trailer behind it and stick it in. Now that was an ability that I didn't realise. Obviously this is unique in so much as it's a floor pickup. Most of them aren't. Yeah, so the only one we could have done that before was the 710, the S710, which then you needed to stick it onto a second one. So really, this is rather a unique. Yeah, there is another one, but it's not work. It wasn't working when I tried it on St. Cali, which is when I found out about the AGI pack and this particular one. And I believe that was Kevin that told me that. Or it was Kevin or Marty, definitely. Yeah, fonts of all wisdom, those two, definitely. I'm sure it was, I think it was Kevin, I'm sure it was, that told me about the AGI pack. He even told me the exact model of this, the STX2 1051, or there may be a couple of them, so it may have been another one, but he was the one that told me about it. So, yeah, credit where it's due. And, yeah, the rest is history. So, yeah, we found out quite a bit. So that is where we're going to leave this. We have done a monstrous amount. Let's have a quick look at the animals to see how badly, because I always worry about those pigs, even though we know I filled it up. 28 tons. It's alright, they're not starving. And TMR is 54 tons. So what happens? They're eating an awful lot for saying there's only 200 of them. And that's pretty much where it was, where we left them. So obviously the grass is growing and feeding them pretty much in that quite large field. But that is where we're going to leave this particular session, yeah. And so I shall leave it to future me to actually do the normal run through. And I will do a time lapse for July and August. Yeah, we'll do literally just race through till do both things. And then we shall go through till September morning. We shall. So all that remains to be said is, thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on what's left of this journey. And yeah, I'm going to say goodbye for now.